Our curriculum for our Spanish for Spanish speaker classes in the Escondido Union High School District consists of the Wright Institute in Spanish, which I will focus on in this and the next video, grammar and vocabulary. Every Spanish and ELA class should have these as components, literature that is relevant to our students' lives, writing, culture, and technology. For all of our courses, we use the Holt Nuevas Vistas books. For Spanish Speakers 1, we use the Curso de Introducción. For Spanish Speakers 2, we use the Curso 1. And for Spanish Speakers 3, we use the Curso 3. At first, we used the Curso 1 text with Spanish Speakers 1, but it was really challenging for students. The Curso de Introducción was actually written because the Curso 1 text was too difficult. As soon as it came out, we adopted it and shifted the books up a year. This is much better for our students who are struggling to read in Spanish. We use a minimum of 2 Write units per year. You can see these units at my speaker's website, which will be included in the ending credits. An example of books and films to supplement the class are Cool Salsa, a book on poetry, You're On, a theater book, both compiled by Lori Carlson, and Real Women Have Curves, a film. This is a slide of students performing skits in my class from the book You're On, compiled by Lori Marie Carlson. This is a slide of students' increase of achievement passing the district writing exam from our neighboring school district in South Sweetwater. You can see the percentage increase of students being successful in writing after participating in the writing units from the Wright Institute. On this slide, you can see that English learners who took Spanish for Spanish speakers had a much better improvement in their English language arts standardized test rates than students who took English language development classes alone. On this last slide, you can really see that the English language development students who took ELD and Spanish speakers versus those who took ELD classes alone had a much higher success rate on the Sweetwater District English Writing Examination. We need to use our assessment to improve our teaching and learning, not just for the sake of giving tests. Through proper assessment analysis, we can recognize that the same strategies are not equally good for all students. Some students need more time and energy to understand the same standard. Giving them the extra time to grasp what they need is the fair and equitable thing to do. At a School Board Association conference in Albuquerque last spring, I was able to listen to Rodolfo Anaya give the keynote. During his keynote, he stated, "The reason I wrote was to go back and find my own identity. I had been remade in another image." The week before, I was lucky enough to have a luncheon with Sandra Cisneros, who wrote House on Mango Street, Caramelo, and many other works. And both of them impressed upon me how in school they were never able to have access to literature that was representational of their situation, of who they were. And that's what drove them to write more literature that we use in our classes with our students right now. We use Rodolfo Anaya in our EL program, English Learner program, and Sandra Cisneros in both English Learner program, our English Language Arts program, and our Spanish for Spanish Speaker program. So we were so excited to hear from these famous authors about how essential it is that students learn about themselves in their classrooms, that they feel represented so that they don't feel completely ostracized and separated from their learning community, which is their school. So we hope to give that to our students through Spanish for Spanish speakers. Here are some sample units from the Wright Institute that are available in both English and Spanish. Every genre that is used in the California Language Arts Standards is available in both English and Spanish through the Wright Institute. Here are the key components to Wright's biliteracy model. The key to any successful program should be staff development. And we're going to start with staff development on standards-based assessment and curriculum. Secondly, we're going to look at English and Spanish parallel instruction. Imagine the high level of transference we will achieve when students are taking the same thing in their Spanish class and learning the same type of essay writing, etc., as they do in their English class. So you can imagine that we have a high success rate and effective transference. Then we have Spanish language arts via Spanish for Spanish speakers classes. So students, as you can see, are following the language arts, of course focused and specific towards Spanish. And lastly, Spanish for Spanish speakers is an integral part of our ELD program, our English Language Development Program. So students who are new to our country or are longtime English learners will take Spanish for Spanish speakers as part of their primary language support in order to better their English. What's the so what factor? Don't we always know that students want to know about themselves? Why is school so important? How does it connect to anything that's useful for me? You have to build on the students' primary experiences. So through the Wright Institute, that's what we do when we're working with our students. I included, by the way, the unit Tiempos de Paz. I got permission from the director of the Wright Institute, and she said that was fine. It's at my website, and please feel free to use that in your classes and try it out. Maybe that's a good way for you to encourage upon your districts how important a program like Wright is in both ELD and Spanish for Spanish speakers. That parallel instruction is what makes it so powerful. But we need to tap into students' prior knowledge and affirm identity and culture, and then address the so what factor. Why is it so important? And I will say this is a wonderful way as well to connect with your students. What I would always do with the Wright unit is put those sheets up that ask personal things about what are your prior experiences. And then I would always give my own and say, oh, this made me feel so uncomfortable, or this was an experience I had and this is how it made me a better person, or this is how it helped me think about problems that I would like to focus on and solve in the future. And then the students, once they hear yours, they feel a little bit safer. Their affective filter also starts to lower, and they start feeling more like a family within your classroom. Thank you for taking the time to learn about our Spanish for Spanish Speakers program. For more information and documents that support our courses, please visit my website and take the time to view the other short videos in this series. Adios!